Hello, Packers fans, wherever you may be. It's time for your final pregame update for the Packers versus Bears on Saturday, December 20th. Big news on the inactive list. We're going to go through it really quickly, and this should get you ready for kickoff. We've been eagerly awaiting this news. It just dropped, so let's take a look at our inactives for the Packers and the Bears on Saturday, December 20th. Here we go. This is huge news coming out, all right? Both Josh Jacobs and Christian Watson are active for Saturday's night's game for Packers versus Bears at Soldier Field after being questionable on the injury report. Zach Tom and Evan Williams are out of the game. So let's look at our inactive list. We have Evan Williams, Zach Tom, Quinton Bohanna, which is a defensive lineman that they just picked up last week, Josh Wiley, who has a concussion, and Nazir Stackhouse. For the Bears, we have Luther Burden out as expected. We have Rome Odunze out as expected. Amen Obagazaminya, I know I just butchered that name, that are out for this game. So let's talk about what this means. Okay, there's been a lot of, over the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of speculation, especially about Josh Jacobs being out for this game. Josh Jacobs came out several times and he said he will be playing in this game. So it looks like we are all systems go on offense except for Zach Tom, which is really big because I expect this to be a shootout game. Josh Jacobs being in, expect to see a fair amount of Wilson in this game as well. I think Zach Tom is probably going to be limited in this game, and Christian Watson will be active in this game, probably mainly on 3 wide receiver sets. That would be my guess. They might also try to get him in action in the slot from time to time, like we saw in the first game against the Bears. But big news here, we're going to see Josh Jacobs. Now, he was limping just a couple days ago, so he's the ultimate warrior for playing in this game. He said he was going to play. He'd rather play than watch in the game. Josh Jacobs knows what's at stake for this game as far as the division. So look for Josh Jacobs to be active in this game and start. But don't be surprised in certain windows if Josh Jacobs gets a breather in this game. I really think that they're going to try to use Josh Jacobs early and often on first down in the first quarter. And then the second and the third quarter, you might see more Wilson than you would expect. But then in the fourth quarter, they want Josh Jacobs to be as healthy and fresh as possible to try to wind down the clock and win the game if they have a lead. So look for them to spell Josh Jacobs consistently in this game to make sure they keep him healthy for when they really need him in must-do situations. So, for example, you might see Josh Jacobs come out of the game when the Packers are in the middle of the field, but come back in when they're in the red zone. So don't be surprised if you see that happen at all in this game. With Zach Tom being out, it looks like we're going to have Kennard starting at right tackle. So it's probably going to be Kennard starting. He has the experience. He did well as possible against the Broncos on limited snaps. He's had snaps all week to prepare. So Kennard should be starting with Martin as a backup swing tackle in the event that there's an injury. So you might also see Martin come in certain situations where they want to go jumbo. You might see Kennard slip into the tight end, and you might see Martin play at right tackle on pure running situations. So watch for that very closely as well. So the big news here is the Packers look like they're going to be close to full strength, at least at the start of the game on offense, except for Zach Tom. And on defense, we're missing Williams. So what does that look like in my opinion? As I said in the pregame, you're probably going to see Bullard uh, filling in for Williams as much as possible, and in the base defense, and he's going to be probably crashing the box early and often to try to stop the run in this game. And on third and long, you're probably going to see Nate Hobbs come in to play the slot. That's really the best opportunity to get the best players on the field for this must-win game against the Bears. So there's your update. Good. We should have a great game today, so please enjoy it. There's only 3 more games left for the Packers before the playoffs start, and each game is critical. So watch this very closely. Root for your Packers loudly, even if you're at home. Give them as much enthusiasm, as energy as you can, because, what does it hurt? You could sit there, pay attention to the game, but not be engaged, or you could be in that seat, engaged and in watching the game. And if you are at the game, root for those Packers as loudly as possible. Hopefully the Packers can do some things to get the home fans out of this game and try to limit the impact of Soldier Field in this game, because that's going to be the 12th man for the Bears. And you're not just fighting the 22 starters for the Bears, you're also fighting that crowd. So what can the Packers do to take the energy out of that crowd? One of the big things is having Josh Jacobs run the heck out of the ball early in the game with long sustained drives and put points on the board. So I'm very excited about this game. I think the Packers are going to come out with a victory. I said before, I think this is going to be about a bit of a shootout in this game, and I predict the Packers are going to win 34-31. So I expect a field goal. Looking at this news breaking, it's not really changing the point spread right now. Right now, the Packers are getting 1.5 points. I would take that with confidence. I don't know if I would play the over or the under, because this game could go either way. But I do like the money line for the Packers, just a straight up win. And look at some key metrics for the Packers that you think are easily attainable. Add that in, and you can have a very nice parlay in this game. So we'll see you after the game. I'll probably be doing a stream tomorrow morning where we hopefully have a Packers victory Sunday. And as always, go Pack Go.